Hello people, what is going on? This is a new video here from Car Boot Collectors where I'm going to be showing you a few things that I have acquired recently. And I'm filming this video with my webcam because I don't know what's up with my camera at the moment. I think there might be a problem with the SD card because it's like not, I don't know, it records it and then it doesn't actually, it just says when you turn off like the camera, it says it hasn't recorded and I don't know what's going on there. So here's just me filming with my webcam. I'll show you the goods. So anyway, I went to MCM Expo 2 weekends ago this Sunday, 2 weeks ago rather, and I only ended up buying one thing, which was a bit of a shame, but it is quite a cool thing. It's a fairly uncommon Super Nintendo game, so I will show that. I'll save that until last, because I've got a few things I want to say about MCM Expo. But yeah, I also have 2 NECA figures and 3 knockoff figures. So we will start off with the NECA figures. So first up, they're both from Facebook, from different people. This was the same guy in my last pickups video. I showed some random horror figures. This is from the same bloke. So we have Michael Myers. This is from the NECA Cult Classics line. Yeah, this figure came in like 2 ways. It came in a set called Evolution of Evil, where it comes with like the sort of child Michael Myers figure dressed in like the clown costume, and it also came in a set where he's got like the like bed sheet over him, where he's like the ghost in that scene in the film. But yeah, this one doesn't come with any of the accessories, but still it is a really cool figure, and it was quite cheap. It was £9 including postage, which is a bit of a Barry bargain because I mean, like with the accessories, it is a really expensive figure, like either one of them, but still, just on its own like that, still pretty cool. So yeah, I was happy with that one. Next up, this one is from a game I have never played. I do own the game, and I have done for a very long time. I've just never played it. So right, it's from Borderlands. My cat is now here. Yeah, it's from Borderlands. This was one of the first Xbox 360 games I bought. I bought it off of one of my friends, and I've just never played it. Like I've never really wanted to. I have no idea what it's about, but I just thought this figure looked really cool, so I bought it. It was £12 including postage from Facebook, complete with the little weapons. So yeah, pretty cool. It's a really detailed figure. Like it's got all of the sort of lines like it has in the game. So yeah, this figure is, as well as the Claptrap from the same line, are very like uncommon figures. You don't see them very often. So yeah, thought it was cool, quite cheap, so I bought it. Alright, next up is I'll show the bootleg figures, and I know some people, or maybe a lot of people I don't know, aren't really too interested in these, so I'll try and just go through them pretty quickly. But they are all pretty interesting ones. These are all 3 of these are fairly obscure. So first up is a Mannix figure. This is from a line called Two-Faced Devil, and basically all the figures in the line have got like this weird Power Lords-esque head where it's like double-sided. So we've got a sort of supposedly human head on that side and a weird like animal on the other side with like a really generic He-Man-esque body. So yeah, I got that on eBay for £6 plus a couple of pound postage. It wasn't very well advertised. Usually they go for a lot more than that. So yeah, I was happy with that because you don't see them very often. I've got one of the others from the line, and they did. There's another series I think is called The Same Thing, and they have exactly the same heads, but they're on a different body, and they were only released in Argentina, and I have a couple of those, and I have a couple of these ones now, so pretty cool. Next up, this was from a bloke in America on Facebook. He put up a picture, and it was like, he put up an album, and it was titled like He-Man knockoff figure clear out, something along those lines, and there was like 50 pictures of like Mexican bootleg He-Man figures, the Remco like knockoff lines like Conan the Barbarian, Warlords of Warland, I think they're called, and some other like custom type stuff. But the only one that was really of interest to me was this one. They are called Gargoyle Protectors, and these didn't come out in the UK. So yeah, it's supposed to be like a knockoff of the Disney Gargoyle cartoon. It's got a very like weird sort of cartoon look to it. Yeah, they're made by a company called Toys and Things, and yeah, they're not easy to find, especially with the wings, because the wings are only held on by these like tiny little pegs, and they are usually broken or just like missing. Whenever you see them, they're usually just like that. So yeah, like I said, it was from America, including postage from America. I think it was like £18.70, which I thought was a bit of a deal because, like I said, it's a rare figure, and also postage from America was probably like 12 quid. So fair enough indeed. And last one, this geezer, he had some Transformers, and I noticed he had this one in the picture, and it's a really obscure like knockoff line. I've got one of the others. They are called Magic Robo. So what it is a skull head a skull transformer on wheels, and it's got a little sticker on it that says like Killer X1. So yeah, it's just a skull on wheels basically. It would have had like a friction motor, but it doesn't work. So basically you open it up like that. And it's got this like crazy little robot inside it. It's very cool. Very obscure indeed. So yeah, I've got the Frankenstein from this line, and they also did a vampire and King Kong, but I've never actually seen the other two. So yeah, if anyone's got any of them, let me know, because I would be interested in getting like the full set. So yeah, the skull, very cool. Right, last thing to show is my only purchase from MCM Expo. Before I say that though, before I show that, I had a bit of a funny story of something that happened today when I went into a charity shop. And I don't bother really going into charity shops anymore because I haven't done for like a couple of years, because around here, they generally know what they've got. They generally, like, any video games DVDs they will price up to according to eBay. And also any like cartridge-based games, usually I know for a fact a couple of the charity shops, they do just chuck in the bin, because I know a couple of people that have like volunteered in them, and that like cartridge games, they can't test them, so they just chuck them out in case they don't work and people like complain. So yeah, I don't usually bother looking in them, but there's one I go in very rarely, because it's like sort of on the way back from college, sort of. Like if I walk back from college, it's a little detour, but sometimes I go there, like maybe once every month or so. So I went in there and had a quick look, and there's like board games as you walk in, and usually my routine is look at the DVDs, move over here, look at the board games, look at the toys, go over, have a look at the bric-a-brac shelf, and then leave, all in about a minute or so. So I walked in, had a look at the DVDs, the same crap that was there last time I looked, like a month ago, like the best of Daniel O'Donnell live, High School Musical sing-along edition, and all that sort of stuff. The board games, I just had a look at the board games, I was like... And then the old woman on the till was like, "Oh, you like board games, do you?" And I was like, "I'm having a look, I don't know." And she was like, "What are you looking for then?" And I don't know, I'm just having a casual browse. And she started going, "Oh, Monopoly, that's a classic, you should buy that one." I'm like, "I don't want to buy any of them." And then she pointed at, we're just pointing at random ones. "Oh, have you played that one? That's a good one." I'm like, "No." And then she pointed at Yahtzee and was like, "Oh, Yankee, we play that one in my house at Christmas." And I'm like, "Good, I don't care." And then she just went, "Oh, do you want to come out the back and have a look at the other games?" And I was like, Yeah, alright, I don't know why you think I love games or something, because I just had like a 2-second look at them. So I went to follow this like random old lady into the back of this charity shop, and it was like boxes of shit everywhere. And I was sort of having a quick look, like thinking, like, oh, there might be like, I don't know, an N64 in one of those boxes. And she was like, no, the games are over here. So I was like, oh, alright. And there was just like a stack of crappy games on this shelf. And I was just having a look at them. She was like, do you want any of them? I was like, not really. And then she just started, and I was just like, oh, I'll have a look though. And she was like, and then she started going like, midlife crisis. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? How am I in a midlife crisis? I'm only like 17. Like, fuck you, you old lady. And that was it basically. And I was like, it's nothing I want here. And she was like, oh, fair enough. And I just went out of the shop. And I was like, that was very weird. I didn't have any intentions of buying any board games. And I didn't buy any board games. So anyway, my cat is just sort of sat here asleep now. But anyway, the last thing from MCM Expo. I've been to MCM Expo with the group of people I go with pretty much. I think like every one now for the past 4 years, which is like the summer one and the winter one. Or autumn, not winter really, it's autumn. So, yeah, this one, it didn't seem like the past couple of times, it's not like it's gone downhill, but it definitely is like a lot different in terms of what is there. So, the first few times we went, it was a very good mixture of like movie stuff, TV stuff, anime, manga stuff, and just it was a good mixture. Like you could go and see like a bit of everything and be like, oh, there was some cool stuff there. Like the past couple of times we've been, it just seems to be like absolutely everything is like anime related and manga related. And it's like, I know there's always like a lot of that sort of stuff, these kind of events, but it just seems like it's really, really unbalanced. There's not really much of anything else. So there's a lot of things that are like, I don't even know how they're related to like anime or manga. And it's like a giant plush toy, like this big, of an ice cream with a face. Or like a plush toy of a cupcake with a face. Or, and there's one still that, and all they sell is like soup bowls. And like, who is actually going to buy that? But you like people are they're buying them. It's like, what does that have to do with MCM Expo? So yeah, and also the last few times, or the first few times, there was always like a cool celebrity there, or someone where you could be like, oh, that geezer, oh yeah, I saw him at MCM Expo. So there was like Anthony Daniels was there one year, Danny DeVito was there one time, and yeah, some like sort of relatively famous people. But the last few times, it just seems to be all of the special guests are just like, I don't know, like the entire cast of some weird show that's exclusive to Netflix that I've never even heard of, or like someone that, like, I don't know, drew the characters in some anime that no one's ever heard of. So it just seems like there's a lot of people there that I don't even know who they are. But anyway, the one game I did purchase. Usually at these events, games are, and you've probably just seen it there in the corner, as people know, they're always really overpriced because they know you're going to get the people that don't collect games, they don't necessarily know the value, and they'll be like, oh, N64, I had one of those, my mum chucked it in the bin, 50 quid, what a bargain, have you seen how much they are on eBay? That's bloody cheap, that is. And then like buy it for 50 quid with no games and no box. So like, and people, the game stores are so crowded, and people are there buying like copies of Mario All Stars on the Super Nintendo for like 30 quid for the loose cartridge, and like it's a bit overpriced, but people actually buy it. But yeah, you may remember the last time I went to MCM Expo, in fact, the time before, yeah, the last time I went, I ended up finding Spawn on the Super Nintendo in the box, which is a really rare game. Quite an expensive game, and I got it for an absolute Barry bargain. So yeah, this time I also happened to find a fairly uncommon Super Nintendo game for a Barry bargain. So this bloke is there every time. He's overpriced figures, overpriced games. He's there every year with the exact same stock at the same price. He has a boxed Game Boy player for the GameCube that he's been asking 85 quid for for the whole 4 years we've been going. He's never put the price down, and it's just in the box is getting even more battered every time we go. But anyway, what I bought off of him, Thomas the Tank Engine on the Super Nintendo, and it's in really nice condition. I've put it in a very nice Sentinel case, courtesy of Alex at Atomic Comics and Games. Big up Alex and Amy, who are probably watching. Yeah, so the box is not mint, but it does look really good, especially inside this case. It wasn't a really manky Sentinel case. So yeah, I don't have the instructions, and I don't have the poster, which is a shame, because with the poster especially, this game is really expensive. But yeah, I got it for 30 quid, which is still, it's about half what it's worth. So it's a fair price, especially like at a convention. So yeah, a very uncommon game. Like uncommon box, like loose is not particularly rare or anything, but yeah, it looks terrible. It looks like a sort of, I remember we had a Thomas the Tank Engine game on PC when we were younger, and it looks very much similar to that. So yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine. Maybe I'll give that a go at some point. Alright, but anyway, that is everything I found in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, if you like the video, subscribe. We've just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is very cool. So, hello and thank you to any new subscribers. I don't know if we're going to do anything for like hitting 1,000 subscribers. I was thinking about doing maybe like a room tour type video. Maybe. But yeah, thanks new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, do it if you want. Yeah, remember to leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.